Hey everybody, Steve Wareham here.
And Molly Wareham.
We're here to talk a little bit about reading today. We want you guys to all learn with us here at NerdtopiaCast. And one of the things that we think it's very important, especially in my household, is that people read, and especially the kids read. So I asked Molly to come in, and we're going to talk a little bit about some books that she enjoys, and to try to get you guys out to purchase some literature by some real writers here. Okay, Molly, so I know that Jen took you out this weekend. You guys went and bought a What If graphic novel, the big Marvel crossover What Ifs. I know you like Purplicious. Goodnight Moon, we had some good times with that. What book do you want to talk about today?
Actually, Dad, I want to talk about An American at the Crossroads.
An American at the Crossroads? Charles Basrap's book. Okay, we'll talk about An American at the Crossroads. Tell me why you like this book so much.
I like this book because of its smart commentary on neo-American counterterrorism and simple enough that you can even understand.
So if you're going to give this book a grade, how would you grade this book?
I gave it 2 thumbs up, but don't take my word for it.
You know what? That makes me want to read it. I hope it makes you want to read it too. Molly, why don't you tell these fine people where they can find Charles J. Basrap's An American at the Crossroads?
You can find Charles Basrap's An American at the Crossroads at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Salsa.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Jenna. In addition to being performers at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, we are also co-hosts of the weekly podcast Apropos of Nothing, wherein we talk at great lengths about nothing in particular while trying out new drinks in the name of science.
Our show also features guests on a regular basis, such as MC Frontalot, nerdcore rapper extraordinaire, Car Hagerman, better known probably to this audience as the Rat Catcher of the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, and Jick and Mr. Skullhead, designers of the video game Kingdom of Loathing.
For more information about us or to listen to our show, go to aonpodcast.com or download us on iTunes. You can also friend us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter.
Someone go ahead and kill that, please. Stop the track. Nerdtopia, yo, and we got a freaking podcast. Cruising in the speeder, bullseye, and flipping womp rats. Comics, video games, movies, real life superheroes is what you can expect if you're wired to be weirdo. So we welcome all the newbies and the groupies, flashing boobies in the movies without cooties. In the show, it's got you drooling with this comedy, no fooling. Now presenting you your host is Steve and fucking Doolin. Word, NerdtopiaCast at blogspot.com, Facebook.com/NerdtopiaCast, also YouTube and podcast 38 seconds.
Hey, what's up? I'm Doolin Dalton.
Steve Wareham.
And this is NerdtopiaCast episode... The fuck episode are we on?
7, I think.
7! Yes, I knew that. I was just testing you. Episode 7. So let's get down and nerdy, shall we, Steve?
I think we shall. There's a number discrepancy because we had the prequel, so I always get confused. So this is 7 or 8, I guess, depending on... Like, I don't know if we would round up if, like, this is a bad... Like, if it's a bad episode, I think we round down and call it 7. If it's a good one, like, there could be a lost episode somewhere. Like, I think 2. Episode 2 is probably our weakest episode. That's the lost episode. So we could, even if, officially we can call this episode 7. I think that's a good idea.
All right, episode 7. Here we go. Episode 7 of NerdtopiaCast. Still yet to be named. You usually go through and name it afterwards. So, yeah, man. So what do we got in the news this week, brother?
I'll tell you something that's a little bit different this week. I have a studio audience here tonight.
Yeah,
I do.
Right. My wife left Beat Lab North, and she came down to the Beat Lab South.
Special guest.
Yeah. So
say hi, Jennifer.
I'm alone here.
Yep.
And my wife is down there this week.
Yep. And my pregnant wife is getting a foot massage currently from your wife.
I never fucking get foot massages.
Well. Next time when you come down, I'll give you one, I promise.
I told you when you're pregnant, I will give you a foot massage.
I don't know. You know what? I don't need you because Steve will give me a foot
That's
massage.
right. He doesn't have a lot of options, Jen. He's Catholic. No, wait, I'm Catholic.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm a fucking Jedi. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Couple of news items, man. Some stuff that I think we wanted to talk about involving the last show, and I think we probably need to kind of clear the air about that first. As a lot of you probably heard, it was a rough week last week for our friends out in Seattle. Mm-hmm. There were, on the same day, on Wednesday, there were 2 really violent massacres in different parts of Seattle, and we've become. It's kind of strange because I had no before episode 4. I guess I had no real ties to the Seattle community, man. But I've paid a lot of attention to it. I've always been kind of infatuated with the Pacific Northwest, and after what happened and knowing that Phoenix and the RCSM are out in Seattle, we've been talking about the city a lot lately.
Right.
You know, it's become superhero central, basically. Seattle is Gotham. You know, Batman lives in Seattle.
Like Gotham, but with a lot of coffee.
Yes, yeah, it's a hipster's version of Gotham. Gotham, if it was, you know, like the Mod Squad from a couple of years ago. So anyways, yeah, man, there was a couple of really kind of tragic events that happened, and we've been having a lot of fun with Phoenix on the show, and we've been
and outside the show as well.
And outside the show, and still love him, love his wife. Great people and doing really good work, and we've also been doing that a little bit at the expense of somebody who has been pushing for Phoenix's downfall.
Yes. And
kind of fighting fighting an online flame war, basically, is what it was becoming, and
you know, and it was poking fun at him at his expense, obviously, but at the same time it was our kind of way of satirizing this guy.
Right.
And I think you sent me the text message while I was at work and said about the shootings. That's how I found out about it. Like, hey, there's shootings going on out there, and it's getting real, and we need to stop because we don't need to draw any more attention to this guy. Because even if he's not directly related to it, or even if he's not related to it at all, doesn't really matter. I mean, you got a guy that is out there doing his best to try to, he's putting himself on the line to try to maintain order out there, and then you got this guy who's attracting these types of fanatical people.
Right.
And I can't have, even if I'm poking fun at him, I can't in good conscience have anything to do with that, and neither can you.
Absolutely. So what we've decided to do is we still have 100% commitment to Phoenix and Purple. And what great people, by the way. I mean, Purple, with the work that she's done with domestic violence, Phoenix is one of the most stand-up guys you'll ever talk to. And we will still be following them. We're still pushing their cause 100%. There's no backing down from our support of Phoenix, Purple, El Caballero, Midnight Jack, the rest of the RCSM. But we will no longer be mentioning the troll. And if you'll let me just go ahead and read this. I wrote something the other night. It's been kind of a strange ride for us because we, again, 2 weeks ago, we knew Phoenix and we had talked to him a few times, but I wouldn't say we had a real open back and forth relationship with him where we spoke. I mean, certainly, it seems like we speak every few days to him now through Facebook or through messages. And his wife almost just as much, and so it's been a real surreal couple of days. And so I sat down after we had discussed this. I sat down Friday night, and it kind of left a real heavy burden on my chest. I needed to kind of get out what I was feeling at the time. So if you'll indulge me, and we're going to get to the comedy here in a second, but this is something really important that I wanted to make sure that we got out on the show and everybody could pay attention to. So
okay,
it goes like this. We've been having some fun these past few weeks with our great pal and fellow Nerdtopian Phoenix Jones and the Rain City superhero movement. We've also been poking fun at a coattail riding troll who seems to be obsessed with his downfall. As most of you may have heard, violence erupted in the city of Seattle on Wednesday. Several people were wounded or killed in 2 separate murderous rampages within the city. Some of us watched with nervous trepidation as Phoenix himself tried to help the police find the killers. I heard about it at work. My wife stays at home with our children, and she called me on my cell phone. Have you heard about Seattle, she asked. No, what's going on, I replied. There have been multiple shootings in the city. It's all over the news. Phoenix, I asked. He's chasing after one of the shooters now, she said nervously. Call me with updates. I gotta go clear my head for a minute. I hung up the phone and walked outside for a while. It's funny. Celebrities, characters, it's all fiction until you laugh with them, until you make plans with them, until you see them and you talk to them. Then it becomes harder to remove yourself from them. You actually worry. Not that I have any doubt in Phoenix's ability. He's been doing this for a while now. He knows what he's doing. There have been over 250 costumed arrests, and well over 200 of them are courtesy of Phoenix himself. Of course he would turn out to be okay, but the city stood still in shock at the tragedy that occurred. While everyone began to make sense of what happened, other stories began to emerge. Jason Yori, a recovering alcoholic and drug addict, knelt by Gloria Koch Leonidas and delivered her last rites to her church as organist Joanne Stremler performed CPR. Gloria didn't make it. Lawrence Adams was a patron of the coffee shop. His brother died in the World Trade Center attacks over a decade ago. Upon his brother's death, he vowed to never be the kind of guy who would hide under a table when the shooting started. He threw bar stools at the gunman. Leonard Muse, the barista, called and stayed on the phone with emergency services after being shot multiple times. He remains in critical condition. If you're the praying variety, it seems like a very brave man could use some help. I'll be praying for you, Mr. Muse. Then it started making sense. It made sense before, but it was never so tangible. We all have the capacity to be heroes. We all have the capacity to throw stools and call the police. And sometimes that's the hero that you have to be. Phoenix and the RCSM are out there day after day, not to chase glory or sell merchandise, but to set the example that being a hero doesn't require costume. It just takes courage, conviction, and when the time comes, the intestinal fortitude not to hide under a table. A quick note to the troll. We'll no longer be talking about you on our tiny little podcast. I know you're heartbroken over it, but don't worry. Thanks to folks like Jason Yori, Joanne Stremler, Lawrence Adams, and Leonard Muse, looks like you'll have plenty of tables to hide under when the shooting starts. Get bent. We're done with you. We'll still continue to follow our friends at the RCSM and the good and heroic works they do, but we won't be dedicating any more time to banter with a parasitic troll who's just trying to sell wedding videos. So, I appreciate you guys indulging me. I think we both kind of wanted to get that out. And we were planning a lot, behind the things that were going on, rallying the troops, so to speak, having a little fun with it. But when these types of things happen, and these are your friends, and you have a real-life connection with them, it becomes a lot less funny, and you do worry, and we don't want there to be any, certainly put our friends in danger, or exacerbate any conditions in a city that's gone through a lot in the past 7 days. So Seattle, we love you. Good luck to you guys. We're certainly pulling for you guys as you get all this stuff back together. But out of respect for you and your city and the people there trying to protect it and keep it safe, right, we're going to leave the trolling as far away from you as we possibly can. So.
Right. And if, whether you love Phoenix or you hate Phoenix, whatever, at the end of the day, there's, a dude who's not, he's not law enforcement. He works with law enforcement. But, he's out there on his free time putting his life on the line trying to keep you safe, man. I did a little bit of research into it this week, and I came across Seattle Weekly. It's a news blog, obviously based there in Seattle. And they reported what Phoenix did the night of one of the shootings. He heard the sound of the gunshots, called 911 immediately, and he took off after one of the suspects until he was called off by the Seattle Police Department. And so Seattle Weekly News blog, I didn't read all of their stuff, but they've always been very highly critical of Phoenix Jones. Basically playing him off as a shameless self-promoter and, just the basic arguments that you hear against Phoenix. And even they very begrudgingly admitted that he did some good this week. They were very reluctant to admit it, but they did admit it. So, take that as you want it, but that's heroic where I come from, man.
One of the things that I noticed on the page that will no longer be named is that a lot of people after that those events came on there and basically said, he stepped up, he was out there trying to do something, and you're just making wedding videos encouraging people to go against somebody who's doing the best that they can for the city. So we're not going to be following you anymore, and that was the end of it. So yeah, I mean, I think we were talking about in the podcast originally how his relationship with the city has come full circle, and he kind of delivered again. So I'm proud of him. I'm
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely proud of him. We have one of our own out there doing good work, man, and so again, man, what a way to lead into a comedy show. You know?
Yeah. Well,
way to kill the mood here.
Yeah, no, yeah, we dropped the room. You know, at least we got it out of the way right away.
Yes.
So we can go ahead. Let's go. We dropped the room. Let's go ahead and bring it back up, man.
We love you, Seattle, but now we're gonna make with the funny.
Yep, absolutely. Here's with the funny, man. The CDC and the government together had to release a statement telling us that the zompocalypse is not real. There is no zombie virus that we know of at this time.
Really, they actually had to. Now, there's been a ton of stuff going on last week. In case you haven't been around, a ton of stuff in the news, man. Some crazy shit has gone down.
We talked about it last week with the face-eating person in Miami that got shot. I think that the cop emptied an entire clip into this person.
Yes,
and they just acted like nothing happened until they finally just dropped dead.
Yeah. Did you happen to see the pictures that was released in
I did, unfortunately, and I can never unsee that.
Well, now, I didn't see any of the violent pictures, but I saw pictures of the suspect, and I will tell you, the one who looked like he was going to be in the zombie apocalypse, the one who you figure would be patient zero, it wasn't, man. The guy who was eating the face off the other dude was like a young, strapping-looking dude, and the other guy was, grizzly, big beard and everything.
Well, actually, what I meant was I saw the after pictures of the dude that had his face ripped off.
Oh, you did? Oh, man.
Yeah, man, it was rough. Like, the skin on a person's face is there for a reason. Yeah. You don't want to see that, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And somebody posted it in a group I was in, and they're like, here's a picture of the victim after he had his face ripped off. And I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm like, I know I don't need to click this link.
Is it Red Skull? Did it look like Red Skull?
Yeah, I mean, a lot like Red Skull, but yeah, very much so. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, I'm not good with blood or anything, so I don't know, I mean, like, I don't know what insides look like. I'm good with that. Like, I'm in a real happy place with not knowing what, gray matter and, like, arteries and shit look like. I don't need to. But yeah, that's one of those things. It's like you have this somebody had to at some point be like, this is what Skeletor looks like, man, and this is what Red Skull looks like by peeling back somebody's skin. So, I'm going to let my imagination do the walking on that one. I don't even think I'm going to look it up. And I'm morbid, too.
Right. Well, I know there was also there was an incident in Texas where there's a woman, and sorry if this upsets you, but, it's real. It happened. There's a woman who killed her baby and ate her brain. Ate her baby's brain in Texas.
When was this?
Earlier in the week. It was part of this. Yeah, she killed, and then I think when questioned about it by police, she said that the devil drove her to do it. Which, fucking crazy.
She ate her baby's brain?
Yes.
How old was the baby?
Texas. I don't remember. I didn't write it down. I just kind of skimmed it. Happened in Texas. Woman killed baby, ate brain.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah. There was another incident, and I want to say New Jersey, and I don't have that news story here in front of me.
Well, it's less surprising in Jersey. You expect that kind of stuff out of Jersey.
Yeah. Like, exactly.
Yeah, I would be actually shocked if Snooki's baby makes it that far without her swallowing the thing all. But you'd figure too the Snooki's baby.
Snooki's baby is the Antichrist, personally.
No, Snooki's baby probably has
right there.
Yeah, I think Snooki's baby probably has an interesting flavor to it because number one, it's going to come out a different color than anything else. So she's I guess got with some Italian guys. She's gonna be dark skinned, and then she's orange. So when you mix orange and brown, you probably get caramel, and caramel flavored babies are probably the most delicious babies. So I'm betting that
He's gonna be sitting around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat that baby.
Excuse me, you gonna eat your baby? That looks like a delicious baby. Yeah, Snooki's gonna swallow her own kid eventually. She's gonna that's. And
then she'll make a reality show about it.
Yeah, right. I don't know what the premise for that show would be. I guess you could really only do one show, in case unless she has unless it's like Snooki plus 8. Or something. Wouldn't that be terrible if she gave birth to multiple kids?
Oh God, she became like what's the name of that other reality Star Wars?
John and Kate. Yeah.
Kate Goslin.
Oh man, and the Octomom.
Oh.
You should take the 3 of them, and then you could take all their kids, and you could start. You know what? That's what we should do. We should rope off Rhode Island, right? Because it's small.
No.
Yeah, we should rope off Rhode Island, and then we should move Snooky, the Octomom, and the one with the weird hair, and move them all with all their kids to Rhode Island, and let them develop a colony of really weird, like, inbred, stupid kids.
Nope.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
No, I can't in good conscience allow that to happen.
Fair enough.
I will run into the middle of that colony with a bomb strapped to myself. And it will be done for the good of mankind.
You would take one for the team?
Yeah, I'll take one for mankind.
Fair enough.
I don't have a lot of heroics in my body, man, but that is one that I will take care of. I will fucking strap a bomb to myself and blow up that entire commune. I shit you not.
Well, what would probably be better, like if you're gonna do that, is strap yourself to a bomb and then fall out of an airplane, because at least then you get the free fall. So you get to have a little fun before you die.
That's true.
Yeah. You can only do that once. Jump out of a plane without.
Yeah, that's one trick pony right there.
Yeah.
Well, so anyways, going back to the zombies, the CDC had kind of released a statement last year. I don't know if you read it or not.
I did. It was one of those.
It was a preparedness plan for the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
But it was very tongue-in-cheek, because unfortunately the American public won't read it unless it has something entertaining in it. So they slapped the zombie apocalypse title on there, but really what it was a preparedness plan for any sort of pandemic that you might come across. So I think some people kind of took that seriously, and then all these stories started happening. And now the CDC has to come forward and say, no, people, there's no fucking virus that's going to reanimate the dead.
I don't know, man.
That we know of.
I don't know, man. I might disagree with you on that, because I was listening to, and I'm not trying to. I'm seriously not trying to like stir the pot here, but like, who eats a face? Like, they said cocaine psychosis, right? And I've never known someone to get so high on coke that they start eating the faces off people.
That's true.
Like, I can see getting violent and getting in a fight, but like face eating?
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Yeah, PCP maybe.
Yeah,
I would buy PCP.
That was my initial thought was PCP.
Yeah.
So anyway, speaking of Snooky, Mike the Situation Sorrentino, the fucker with the abs, basically. He's on the Jersey Shore with Snooki, or was. I don't know if that show's still going or not. I don't pay attention.
Yeah.
But it's a sad day for comic book fans, Steve. He's getting his own fucking comic book.
I have to go. I have to leave.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
And we don't have a comic book. This dude has a comic book, and we don't have a comic book?
Fuck! Like, what does he do? He drinks, and he talks shit on camera, and he's got nice abs. Like, what the fuck lends itself to a comic book? Where this guy gets a comic book, and we don't fucking have one.
Honestly, like, what would make it more interesting? Like, all right, let's think of some reality TV stars that would be better, interesting comic books than The Situation. Now, I'm gonna be honest, and don't jump on me for this, because it would be interesting as fuck. I would read the Lindsay Lohan comic book.
Okay, all right.
Because she's so out of her damn mind. Like, you know that it's gonna have some drama in it. Like, it's gonna be decent. Like, The Situation, like, his entire life is about gym, tan, and laundry.
The Gym Tan Legacy would be the name of the comic book.
Oh my God, no! Now that hurts even worse.
Legacy.
So I would read the Lindsay Lohan comic book. I would read. Let's see. Who else is a reality TV show I'd read the comic book of? So Lindsay. Well, she doesn't have a reality, but she's a walking. She's a walking nightmare. She's one of those famous people for. She did Herbie. I mean, that's
Octomom.
Octomom?
She's like spitting kids out.
Maybe like, just for the name. Like, she could be. You could replace Doc Ock with her, and then have Doc.
I was gonna say she sounds more like a super villain than anything else.
And her name is Nadia Suleiman.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah, that's her real name. So that's like that's foreign sounding.
About this summer, when there's only one hope, we turn to the Kardashians.
No.
No?
Kim Kardashian.
There's a nuclear bomb about to drop in L.A. and she just like smothers it with her giant ass.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian was a woman with nowhere left to turn, except towards the camera. This summer, the Kardashians in the Avengers 2 Electric Boogaloo. And then, like, yeah, Kim walks around, she's walking around Manhattan, and then Loki's like, oh, verily, Kim Kardashian, I will get rid of Ray J and the other guy that you've been dating, and set the world on fire or whatever. And then she's like, no, I don't do that. And then she uses her giant butt cheeks to smother the bomb, and that's the end. Credits.
I like my synopsis.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut that one.
Fair enough. Yeah, so here, the situation has a comic book. Here's the situation. I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. For any of our dozens of listeners, here's the situation. If you want to buy this comic book, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, because if you buy this comic book, you support this kind of shit, and you're allowing it to happen, so...
But how empty does the rack have to be for you to purchase the Situation comic book? Like...
The sad thing is, man, for me, for guys like me and you, there's no fucking way in hell we'd possibly buy it. But
there's no way. No,
out there.
No, I don't buy that.
Out there that will buy this.
I don't buy it because they don't. Those aren't people who buy comic books. There's no way. You'd sell more, honestly. Like who's the guy from the show with the Flash? Always wears the Flash shirt and he's a geek. The Big Bang Theory. You could sell if you made that. I don't think there's a Big Bang Theory comic book. If you made a Big Bang Theory comic book, more people would buy that than the Situation comic book. Because those are people who watch the show are people that buy comics, right?
I agree, yes.
Yeah, so do that. Get rid of the Situation. Give the little nerdy dude from the show the comic book.
There you go.
Bazinga. Thank you. Bazinga.
So here's comic book news. DC finally came out and announced the gay hero that they've been hinting about for a while. They've been saying they're going to out a character, and they finally did it.
It's Gorilla Grodd, isn't it?
What's that?
It's Gorilla Grodd, isn't it?
No, there was a hero, not a villain.
Oh.
Gorilla Grodd is a Flash villain. It was Alan Scott. If you don't know who Alan Scott is, he is the original Green Lantern. So they really fucking take a risk with it where I'm concerned. Like, Hal Jordan is really known for being Green Lantern. The character didn't really take off until Hal Jordan became Green Lantern. So they gave it to the original Green Lantern, Alan Scott, and they said, okay, he's the gay guy. And then everybody else is going, we don't really fucking care.
Yeah.
Like, this was your big, PC publicity stuff?
Yeah.
So why bother with it? And then, Marvel is now coming out, and they have there's a gay. They went one better. They're like, we're not going to just do a gay superhero. We're going to have a gay superhero wedding, and that's what's going on in Marvel right now.
Yeah.
And so for me, like, guys like me and you, Steve, we're not homophobic by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Most of the world isn't.
Yeah, I'm a shot in the mouth away from being full on gay.
Yeah. So I mean, there's really only one group that this would appeal to, and that's probably, like younger teens who are, they have an idea that they're gay, but they're not sure yet.
Right.
And they, read the comic books. And I think for something like that, this might help them.
Yeah.
But, for most of the comic book readers, we don't care.
Well, Grant Morrison said a few weeks ago, came out that basically said, look, we're never going to out him. Just want you to know that, but Batman is gay.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yeah, he came out and said we're never gonna out him, but Batman's gay. He's got to be gay. He can't keep a woman. He's always hanging out with the old dude or the kid. Definitely gay. And this is, to be completely honest, one of the most respected authors of the Batman series ever. I think at this point, Grant Morrison's been on a hell of a run. Basically came out and said, yeah, he's gay. You know what, DC, if we're going to make a statement, just fucking out Batman.
See, and that was what I was going to say was, like, if you really want to out a character, like, fucking go balls to the wall. If you're going to make it Green Lantern, then fucking make it Hal Jordan or Batman or, They're never going to do Superman because that's their golden boy. They won't fucking touch Superman.
Or Kyle Rayner.
Make it one of your big name guys.
Yeah, make it Kyle Rayner. At least that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I said the other day. I said, even though they outed Alan Scott, Kyle Rayner is still somehow much gayer.
Yes, absolutely. He's a Green Lantern that should have never been.
Yeah.
So there's that.
There is
some movie news here. Were you a fan of Star Trek, Steve?
I am.
The 2009 version.
I did enjoy that movie. I'm not as big into Star Trek as the wives are, but I did enjoy that version. I thought it was good.
Okay, I did as well. So for Star Trek fans out there, Simon Pegg, who many of you know from Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, Paul. He's kind of an actor that is well known for his nerd movie roles, and then in 2009 he did the role of Scotty, and he is of course returning to reprise this role. He has confirmed that Khan will not be the villain in Star Trek 2. There was a lot of speculation about who the villain in Star Trek 2 is going to be. The actor is confirmed, but nobody knew what role he was going to be. So it's not going to be Khan. So for everybody expecting this to be kind of Wrath of Khan kind of movie, not going to happen.
Well, they're going to make one. Everything's a trilogy at least nowadays. So I'm sure they'll get Khan in there. They're just creating demand. It'll get there.
Yeah, hopefully. So so that's a little something for you Trekkies out there, and for fans of alien movies, the reviews for Battleship are in, Steve.
Yeah, they are.
Fucking terrible.
Well,
terrible.
What did you expect? When you start.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm the dude sitting up there shaking my head, going, "I told you so."
Yeah, honestly,
I thought it was a stupid idea to begin with, and then I heard that someone else say, "No, they're going to add aliens." I was like, "Aliens weren't even in the fucking board game."
It's got nothing to do with it.
What in that game lends itself to a film like that? It's like Phoenix said last week, aliens.
Yeah,
it's always the answer, aliens.
I'm personally holding out for a Connect 4 movie. I think that would do really well.
Lincoln Logs versus Tinker Toys.
Yes, I think that would do very well too. And then after they make Connect 4. You know what actually would be kind of good? Like, they could probably do something really inventive with it, is Mousetrap. Did you ever build the board for Mousetrap and get it to go?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
It's David Lynch's Mousetrap.
Exactly, man.
It's it's a David Lynch movie. It's like 2 hours of a mouse in a clear plastic box from varying angles to a really fucking weird-ass soundtrack.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you discover that you're the mouse.
Yes.
Credits.
Yeah, that would be good, man. David Lynch's Mousetrap, or Mousetrap. I think you could do Connect 4. You may be able to do a Sorry or a Scrabble, but I never saw Battleship working.
How about Guillermo del Toro's Uno? There can be Uno 1.
Yeah, there you go. Get a little international flavor. You could get
Hollywood. If you're listening, like these are some untapped board game ideas. You need to be writing this down because we don't own this.
Yeah, what's Banderas doing right now? He does all the Del Toro stuff.
He's free.
Yeah, and then get the kids from Spy Kids and Carla Gugino and Selma Hayek.
Hey, Martin Scorsese's Monopoly.
Oh, now that would be badass.
This summer, the battle for the boardwalk begins.
You gonna take Park Place?
The Cotelli family, they have Park Place, and the Streetwoods, they have Baltic. But he who controls the boardwalk controls the empire.
I don't know, they were talking about giving them Illinois Avenue, and I said, for Indiana, I don't think it's a good idea, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, where's Frankie? He went to jail. He didn't pass go.
He didn't collect $200. Let me get the papers,
He didn't fucking pick up my $200. He went straight to jail.
Who is that? Oh, that's Charlie Community Chest. He won $10. He won second place in a beauty contest. Collected $10. He's a good guy.
Pretty boy Frank.
Yeah, exactly. No, that would be good, man. That's something I could actually play.
Here you go. George Lucas's Backgammon.
See, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know enough about it.
Because you see, when backgammon was originally invented thousands of years ago, they wanted to add extra droids and blinking Ewoks, but they didn't have the technology at the time.
You know what? George Lucas would be perfect for a Chinese checkers project because no one knows how to play that fucking game anyway. So like he could remake it as many times as he wants.
Fair enough, man. And if you don't like it, it's just too fucking bad because it's his movie.
Yeah. Or M. Night Shyamalan's Hungry Hippos.
Ooh.
Yeah, and at the end. Yeah, and at the end, it turns out.
Okay, no, walk me through this. I'm okay. I've got my movie screen up right now.
Okay.
All right. Walk me through M. Night Shyamalan the Ding Dongs.
Okay, so it's his first animated feature, right? And it starts out.
It's an animated movie. Okay.
Yeah. So it's for the kids, right? And it starts out the hippos. They're in and they're in the African desert. And in one of those rivers, they're the Nile. I guess hippos are in the Nile, right? So yeah. So the hippos are sitting in the Nile, and they're only it's the future, so they can only eat these white food pellets that when they take in large amounts. So when they take in large amounts, like their stomachs expand or whatever, and then the creators, like the tribesmen, they stop giving them the white food pellets. And then we find out that the hungry hippos are out on their own and there's nothing to eat. So then they start attacking themselves. And then we all learn that the hungry hippos were actually little girls in a kindergarten class that had long since been abandoned in a mental hospital.
Bam! It was all in your head.
Yeah, credits.
Credits.
Yeah. Yeah, so you do good.
Go ahead. I'm having fun. Go ahead.
No, I think that's the vehicle for him. I think Shyamalan should definitely do Hungry Hippos. I think Spielberg's got to do something on a much grander scale. So he's got to he's got to
take a big game franchise.
Yeah, so he's got to be a big one. I don't know, man. Don't Break the Ice. No, that's a Jerry Bruckheimer film if I've ever seen one. Don't Break the Ice is a Jerry Bruckheimer film.
Yeah, you've got an Alaskan expedition, and we've got a man stranded out there on the ice, and then they put on like this all red suit to go out there. It's a specialized ice walking suit.
Yeah, and Affleck plays player 2. Yeah, Affleck is player 2.
We're calling in player 2, not player 2.
And it turns out to be Affleck.
He was discharged from the army.
Yeah, and he's a retired war criminal with a heart of gold.
Yeah, of course, he's a badass.
Yeah,
Well, badass, but you find out in a flashback that he actually saved orphanages.
Yes.
From foreclosing. No, fuck that. He saved orphans from burning orphanages.
Yeah, no, he used to break the ice and put people under the ice, but now he works to save them, and he took all of his Merc money and donated it to a children's hospital.
Good. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. This one I think would work. Okay. So if Nolan's going to do one, if Chris Nolan's going to do one, I think Chris Nolan does Jenga. Okay, and here's why. Because in all the in Batman and in Inception, dude's obsessed with architecture, right? So you could see in the beginning, like when Leo DiCaprio's walking through the streets or whatever, he's like, "Welcome to my dreams. In my dreams I play Jenga." And all of a sudden the blocks start forming these like big giant towers and everything, and he's like, "I'm gonna use my dream mind to move it. Don't kick my chair or else everything will come crashing down." And then
little gnomes appear in the background.
Yeah. And they're like, "We listened to you, Overlord Leo DiCaprio. You were the bomb in beaches. The beach. You were the bomb in the beach." And I don't know if anybody saw that movie. It was really terrible. Was it the beach or the island?
I think it was the island was the shitty rip-off Ewan McGregor film with ScarJo.
It was the hold on. The island was
really hot.
The island was a rip-off of the beach.
No, the island was a rip-off of another 70s sci-fi movie.
All right, whatever. So
it was a Michael Bay film.
Yeah. So okay, he wasn't that good. What was he good in? You were the bomb in Growing Pains, right? He was in Growing Pains. So yeah.
Direction you went with that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Growing Pains is a good show. Mike Seaver. So like it's like, all right, so the little gnomes are like, all right, we like you because you were in Growing Pains, and like, and then Michael J. Fox is on the other end because he was in Family Ties, and he's like, fuck Growing Pains, Family Ties is better. And so he's like, watch how the Keatons roll, and then he starts building it, and then at the end they're both sitting there and they're sitting back to back, and their chairs are leaning up against each other, right. And there's that moment where they realize that the only way that they get to keep their world of Jenga is if they work together in their chairs and they don't slip and fall. Credits. And then there's an Asian guy running around somewhere in there. I feel like it needs an Asian guy.
All right, I got one more.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Michael Bay. It's Michael Bay. Michael Bay production. Directed by Michael Bay. Written by Michael Bay. All roles, Michael Bay. No, yeah, that's taking it too far. He'll have a pretty face in it.
Yeah, it'll get a good cast.
Okay. This summer, they biologically engineered ants to be on the forefront of battle. But there was one problem. They craved the flesh of the human anus. This summer, ants in the pants.
We've got to...
Did you get chills? I got chills.
We've got to do something about these ants.
Yes, we got walking.
They're in the pants.
Sign up for this movie.
I have so many ants, it's incredible.
Hey, listen here, you little shit. I've been in the military for 40 years. I'm not worried about any stupid fucking ants. I fought Charlie.
Oh, come on now. So many ants in my pants.
Al Pacino.
Ooh-ah.
Christopher Walken.
I gotta get these ants. It's too much. I've got bites. I need cream.
And special appearance by Morgan Freeman.
I saw the ants. It was a Thursday. I remember the sky was a sapphire blue. Walking through the meadow, dodging ant hills. I am alone.
Credits.
Yeah, no. I think that makes a good movie, man. Why
aren't we making screenplays right now? Because with the quality of the shit that Hollywood's putting out right now, we could be millionaires.
I can tell you this: we would do better than Battleship.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can assure you of that.
Absolutely, we would. Well, so speaking of poorly made movies, I understand that you watched a movie this weekend.
Well, it wasn't so much me.
What was the production value like on this film? I just want to know.
You'll know. I gotta say this. I'm gonna give a preface because neither one of our wives they're both in the room with me now. I'm not doing anything against their will, like talking about them, when they're not around. So, but neither one of our wives are, they married us for a reason because we're.
God, why the fuck did they marry?
I don't know. There's something going on. Okay. There's nothing going on. So neither one, they both married us because, obviously. One of the reasons is, one of them are real big keen on being in the spotlight. They let us kind of do our things. Like we're children. We constantly need attention.
Yeah.
And so we married people that give us constant attention, or else I wouldn't know what the hell to do. Now I'm very lucky in as much as my two best friends happen to be married to each other. So. Right. I get to hang out with you a lot. I get to hang out with your wife a lot. So I have her down this weekend. She's hanging out with us. Had a good time, great time on the lake. Last night we took her out to a coffee shop. And it's kind of a big deal for us to have company. So Eric and I got a sitter. And we all went out. We went out, got something to eat, went to a coffee shop, listened to some live music, came back home. So there have been some things that we've been talking about in the show the last couple of weeks that especially with all the Phoenix stuff that happened the last couple of weeks, I haven't had a chance to get to yet. And one of those things was a movie review that I promised several weeks ago. So last night I came home and I asked them if they would participate in a project with me. Both of them looked at me with raised eyebrows because usually they know that means that I'm going to do something stupid. And I didn't disappoint. So we came home, and I put 2 chairs in front of the computer, and I said, I want to get a woman's perspective on this film. And the film that I've been promising to review for, as you probably remember, past couple of weeks, was the Avengers XXX movie.
Yes. Remember we talked about this weeks and weeks ago, like back in the Lost episode. I think it was like back in episode 2.
Yes.
We talked about this.
Yeah, so I put 2 chairs in front of the computer, and I turned on the microphone and recorded this. Now, I'm not going to, I value half of my things, certainly, and my children and my marriage, and I certainly value being, allowed to come to your house at my whimsy. So I am not going to air said footage of the 2 of them talking. Instead, I turned this into a little game, because I feel bad that you're not here. I want you to feel a little more interactive with the visit and everything. So I turned this into a game.
Okay.
I have assembled 6 quotes. 3 of them are from my wife, and 3 of them are from your wife. And you have to guess which one of our wives said the following in relation to the Avengers porn. Now, I'm going to give you a brief background of the setup here. There was one specific scene. Now, there are actually some really good porn scenes in this movie. I did not go for one of those. Instead, I picked the one that I think everybody wants their commentary on, and that is the scene involving Thor and China as She-Hulk.
Oh, God.
Yes. So, basically, I was sitting in front of the computer. I had the monitor turned away. I told him, I said, look, this is already going to be weird enough. So I'm going to hit record, and I'm going to walk out of the room. And I need the 2 of you to talk about this porn with a girl's perspective.
Okay.
Here are the 6 quotes. Quote number 1. It's just simply, let's bang. Let's bang. That's the quote. Is that my wife or your wife?
One of our wives said, let's bang?
Let's bang.
I hope they weren't fucking saying it to each other, because I'm either really upset or kind of turned on right now. I don't really know which.
Welcome to my entire night last night. Okay. No, I was very safely upstairs. The quote was, let's bang.
Can I okay.
You can't phone a friend.
Well, hold on. Can I ask, what this was in reference to?
It was in reference to fucking Thor fucking China. That's what it was.
Were they saying it to each other?
No, I think it was more like they were.
I think it's very important that I know this, Steve.
Okay, I think it was more like, hey,
Street Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, I think it was more like, hey, Thor, let's bang. She wasn't saying it to Thor. I think she was like, I'm being China, and I'm saying, hey, let's bang.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's very vague.
Yeah.
So I've got nothing really to kind of gauge their personalities from. It's kind of a 50-50 shot.
They're all going to be difficult.
I'm going to say this. I haven't heard my wife use the term bang a lot, so I'm going to say that one was Erica.
Really? Jen's never walked up to you and said, let's bang?
No, she's never said that to me.
Happens in my house all the time. You're right, that's Erica. Okay.
Woo!
Okay.
All right, I'm 1-0.
Okay, you're 1-0. I'm wondering when we get to see his penis.
Is it talking about Thor?
Yes.
Or is it Hulk?
Well, yeah, it's debatable, I guess.
Okay. When we get to see his penis. Hold on.
So she just, that's what, you hit play, and I'm wondering when we get to see his penis.
Oh, that's Jen.
No!
No,
actually, it was not Jen. That was Erica.
Okay, that sounded like something Jen would have said. Like,
nope.
Like the second you turn on a porn, and she's like, when do I get to see his penis? Get through all this fucking bullshit plot.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Okay.
Alright, so I'm 1-1.
Yeah. Alright. It's a total lack of commitment because she didn't paint her insides green.
That was definitely Jen.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Alright. Now, apparently, our wives have a good working knowledge of comic books. I don't think that they both knew that there was such a thing. There's an actual She-Hulk. So yeah. I think that they I think that they thought that one of the characters was feminized for purposes of the movie.
Okay.
So the quote was, the reason that they made Hulk a girl and not Thor is because they didn't want jolly green giant jokes. I guess
Erica.
referring to size of the dong. No, that's actually Jennifer.
Really? Because
Yes.
Jen, I told you that there was a She-Hulk.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation before. Damn it, woman! I mean, all my time spent explaining shit to her just wasted. Wasted.
Yeah, but it was porn. You know, the mind works very, very quickly.
That's true.
Yeah. She was distracted by penis. Okay. All right, so it's 2-2 right now. So we've got so either one of these, it's a toss-up. Okay, here we go. I'm an Asgardian, and I'm really bad at finger banging.
Ooh, that's Erica.
That is definitely Erica.
Yeah. Because once again, you got the bang in there, and
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jen doesn't use words like that a lot. So,
Yeah.
So finger bang, that was not coming from my wife.
Yeah, it came from mine.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. And the last one by process of elimination has to be Jen. If there's no boobs, it's not good porn.
Oh,
And
yeah, I could have told you that one.
Yeah. Your wife is a boob.
My wife will tell you a million times over. She's like, listen, I love guys. I'd never turn around the other way. I'd never hook up with a woman.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you point blank, I appreciate a nice pair of boobs.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. So that was that's porn from a women's perspective. Although when I came down, I will say this: I left them down here for about 3 minutes. When I came back down, they were thoroughly bored, and I think legitimately wanted me to find a better scene for them to watch. So they were totally into the porn. It was just like, yeah, no, this is a bad scene. Do you have anything better?
Can you tell me like what some of the scenes were? I just want to know like who was throwing down and what scene.
There was a Spider-Man Miss Marvel scene.
Okay.
There was a oh yeah, no, the hottest scene by far. Iron Man. There was an Iron Man.
Did he web all over?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Did he really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there was an Iron Man, Scarlet Witch. There was a Nick Fury and Black Widow, but far and away the best scene, and this may go like this honestly may go in my top 3 now scenes all time, was Miss Marvel and Scarlet Witch.
Really?
Yeah, that was amazing, dude. I'm not even gonna lie, that was amazing.
Well, fair enough, man.
Yeah.
We'll have to watch it.
Yeah,
maybe we should make that one of our commentary films.
Your wife's shaking her head and saying not together. No, we're definitely watching this together.
Yeah. We're gonna run commentary on this movie. Because you can go out on riff tracks. Like I know we're talking about doing commentary on The Room, and we're gonna do it on Troll 2 and stuff.
Right.
But how many porn commentaries can you find out there?
We would be the first. Yeah.
I think we should do this.
Of course, there would be like 3 minutes of us talking, and then we'd be just like, shut up. This is happening. Shut up. You turn to the left. Just turn to the left.
Quiet, and then all of a sudden you're.
Just turn to the left. Hey, don't make this weird. Turn to the left.
Yeah, turn on the lights. That's right. Come on. Just don't look at me.
No. It's fine. Back to back. Oh, it brings back memories.
Man, you married us. I just want to throw that out there, girls. You married us.
Yep.
Oh, fucking hell. So, we're talking about Avengers and, some of these sex scenes between our favorite comic book superheroes. It's kind of funny, too, because it's kind of like the, the perfect marriage of our childhood fantasies and our adult fantasies.
Right, exactly.
It's awesome. But I understand that you had a relative come by this week.
I did. I just want to give, and, I was introduced by comics into comics by my uncle Stanley, who apparently works. He's worked in the comic book industry before. We don't really talk about it. There was a lot of bad blood between my mom, who's his younger sister, and him, and his dad over going into the comic book industry. I mean, it was kind of a family, like he was the black sheep, definitely. And now that, of course, his dad's passed, he stays in a home. He's up here. And, we try to look after him every now and again. I mean, but it was, he knows more about comics than anyone I know. And I don't really get along with him that well. He's kind of a jerk.
Right.
But, I thought it was important because we've been discussing the pronunciation of a supervillain in the Marvel Universe.
Eric Lyncher.
And we've been discussing the pronunciation for quite a long time now. There's been some debate. I say Magneto.
Uh-huh.
Everybody else seems to think Magneto.
Uh-huh.
And being as he knows more about comic books than anybody I've ever met in my entire life, I thought I would bring him in, get him out of the home for a minute. Anyway, I needed him to sign some things for my mom, so I had him over here anyway. So I just did a little piece. Just indulge me. Okay. It's me and Uncle Stan. And I'm just gonna roll it real quick. You guys can make out of it what you will. All right, here we go.
All right, go ahead.
All right. You good?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
You want an insure?
No.
How's your stomach?
I'm okay. Okay. It's in a holding pattern.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and roll.
Okay, where do I talk?
You just see the blue light.
Do I have to get close to it?
No. Sit where you are.
Okay.
It's gonna pick you up.
All right.
Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
All I need is like 3 minutes.
All right.
Okay. And go. Hi everyone, my name's Steve Wareham, and I am here with my Uncle Stanley.
Excelsior!
Whatever. Uncle Stanley is my mother's much older brother, and he is one of the sharpest minds I know as far as comic books go. Still reads them every day?
Yes, every day.
How old are you?
I am 82 years young.
No job.
No job. On the can, every day, reading comics.
And somehow it's skated through life, obviously.
Oh, listen, I have sources of income, my friend.
Okay. So, you got me into comic books very young. My first comic was, do you remember the comic you bought me?
It was the X-Men.
That's right. It was X-Men 1. That was the one that had, I think, 4 different covers, and then there was one, like a fold-out.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what we're here to talk about today. I wanted to get your opinion for the people that listen to my show and the people that follow me on the internet. There is a villain in the X-Men series. A couple big villains, right?
Toad.
Yeah, Toad is one of them. It's not who we're looking for.
Okay.
This one I'm talking about, and it's important that I get your. I don't want to bend your opinion one way or the other. It's not Toad. This one wears a helmet.
Juggernaut.
No, it's not Juggernaut. Juggernaut is not who we're looking for. He has a cape.
Batman?
No, that's a completely different. That's a completely different thing. This is X-Men.
Okay.
He's a villain, and he's in that book that you bought me.
Okay.
And he's in the movie. And he usually has white hair.
Quicksilver.
No, it's not. Well, close. You're much closer. Quicksilver's father.
Oh, I read you, buddy. Are you referring to the master of magnetism, Magneto?
That's it.
What a wonderful character.
God bless you. You know, never let it be said that you're not good for anything. I'm sorry about the jog crash earlier. I'm sorry about the jog crash
I appreciate
earlier.
the backhanded compliment.
Well, but I mean, I feel it's important to kind of clear the air a little bit. So I want to apologize. Things were a little kind of tough getting you over here, and I'm a little stressed, and I got to get this done for the show. But
I'm sleepy.
Yeah, I know. Let's say that one more time. I just want to make sure that everyone hears you because you know more about comic books than anybody I know. The name of the villain from the X-Men with the white hair, the cape, and the helmet. What was his name?
The master of magnetism, Magneto.
Thank you so much, Uncle Stanley.
Oh, my pleasure, Stevie.
Is the van coming by to pick you up?
It is. It's on the way. I called.
Okay. Did you use my phone? Because I'm low on minutes.
I did.
Get out.
I'm sorry.
Get out.
Listen, you look healthy.
I feel good.
You've lost weight.
A few pounds.
But your head's still big. When is that going to change?
It's glandular.
I feel like I'm sitting next to Galactus, the devourer of worlds.
Yeah, that's...
Where's the Silver Surfer?
Look, you know what? You don't have to be a jerk. I asked you in here to be on my show because you know a lot about comic books. You don't have to be a jerk.
My blood sugar's low.
This is why your sister doesn't talk to you anymore. This is why we don't call. You keep saying, I wonder why they don't call me. It's because you're an asshole.
I didn't choose to be like this,
I know.
Steve.
I'm sorry that was out of line. You know what? Well, let's just cut. I'm gonna get you once a day Boniva, and we're gonna get you out of here.
Once a day Excelsior.
Okay, first of all, fuck you. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and no.
What?
You know, I love you like a brother.
Yeah.
I do. I love you. I love you profoundly. But fuck your face right now.
What do you?
Okay.
Look,
okay,
it's just.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. No. Because okay. Stanley, if you've ever listened, we're gonna call him Stanley.
That's his name.
If you've ever listened to him talk about Galactus, okay, he pronounces it Galacticus. He mispronounces that, but yet he pronounced that correctly.
Dude,
so I'm calling shenanigans, sir.
No, you've never.
I can't see you right now, but I'm giving my microphone a very stiff pointing at, as if you were the microphone. I'm calling shenanigans.
First of all, I've never even introduced you to my Uncle Stanley. Second of all, he clearly said Galactus in that recording. He said Galactus.
Yeah, right. And I'm saying the real person says Galacticus. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. The person that your Uncle Stanley is implied to be mispronounces that name.
What do you mean implied to be? I'm unfamiliar.
What's that?
I'm unfamiliar. What do you mean?
No. Well, it's fine. It's over here. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
All right. But I'll just say this. I'm going to say this as Charles Bronson once said. This ain't over. Not over, sir. Not over. Not by a long shot. We are just getting started. No. It's fucking Magneto.
It was. I brought him in. Look, you wanted to do a bit on the show about Magneto. I brought in the person that I thought knew most about comic books in my family.
No, we did a bit, and it was fun. But I'm just saying, it's not over.
Fair enough.
It's not over, sir.
He's just an old man. I mean.
You're right. You're right. He is, and that's exactly it. He is just an old man.
That's right.
He is just a very old, very confused man.
Well, yes.
Yes. It's not over, Steve.
It's not over.
Sorry. That man's gone now. He's gone now. This is me. I'm back now.
You scared me, man.
Yeah.
My children are hiding.
I'm alright. No, you don't need to hide. It's okay. Come on out. Doolin loves you.
By children, I meant balls.
Oh man. Well, we're winding down here, but by the time this airs, the Game of Thrones season finale will have taken off. Man, have you been following it this season?
The Game of Thrones, yeah. Yeah, man, I'm excited. Like, I didn't even know that the season finale snuck up on me because they've really been cranking out the shows. There's not usually on these HBO ones that they have a little bit of a break at some point. Like, they'll at least give you 2 weeks of like repeats or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I had no idea up until yesterday, I think, that this was going to be the season finale. So I'm a little upset. I mean, this is like it's such a great show. Such a great show.
Yeah, it is, man. I'm a little upset too. We're gonna have to wait for season 3 to roll around again.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I've been waiting patiently for the new season of Dexter and the new season for Walking Dead and all these other things. So I'll have other things to kind of keep me company.
Right.
But man. So I went and I did a little bit of I went looking for spoilers.
No.
I didn't look too deeply. I didn't look too deeply for it because I want to know, but I don't want to know.
Right.
But I did find out one, and it's not a big one. It's not a specific one. I'm not going to say specifics.
Okay.
And spoilers. If you haven't seen the Game of Thrones season finale and you want to know, we can expect to see somebody die, which is not huge news in Game of Thrones because we're talking about a show that killed off their main character.
Mid-season.
Mid-season in season 1. They killed off the main hero.
Right.
and so other people have kind of had to step up and take that mantle. So, but yeah, we're expecting to see a death in the season finale, and also says it's going to be a chilling climax.
That usually bodes not well for the heroes, you know. I don't know. You want to throw out a prediction?
For the death?
Yeah.
First of all, being a fan of the show, I've not read the books.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that real quick.
I haven't either.
The prediction I make, just keep that in mind. I've not read the books. I've not looked up the synopsises because I don't want to know. I don't. I don't want it to be Tyrion.
I don't think.
I think his character arc isn't done yet.
No.
And by the way he defended the walls was just amazing last week. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Very, very heroic, and I really love the way that his character is taking shape this season. I don't think it's going to be Jon Snow. As you know, he's been captured by the wildlings of the north. I think he's got a direction, he's got a journey his character is going to take, and I don't think we're going to see him go out anytime soon.
Yeah.
I would like to hope that it's Theon Greyjoy.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be him because he's got more trouble he needs to cause before he gets taken out.
Yeah.
I kind of actually, you know what the sad thing is? I see him as more of a tragic character than a villain.
Yeah. That's probably how it'll turn out.
He's done terrible things, but did you know that in order to keep the season finale quiet, what they did was the showrunners sent him a script in which Bran jumps out and stabs him in the chest and kills him, but it wasn't the real script.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean they're even throwing their actors curves.
Okay.
So that they don't know what's going on. But if I had to actually guess, you know what I think? Here's my prediction. I'd say it's going to be the I forget the character's actual name, but I think it's the man that protects Daenerys.
Yeah. His little or her little like man maiden type dude.
Yeah. The night guy. Because here's the thing, they're going in to get the dragons this week. They're going to try to storm the House of the Undying, which, as you know, is the sorcerer house in Karth.
Yeah.
So they're gonna kick open the doors there, and something's gonna happen, and he is not gonna make it out.
Okay.
But she's gonna get out with her dragons, but he's not gonna make it.
Fair prediction. I think this is a bold show. I think that they take big, bold, drastic moves. I'm predicting Robb Stark.
Really?
Yep, I'm predicting Robb Stark. Ladies,
Ooh.
I'm gonna get the ladies to weigh in.
Who would take over leading the troops of the north?
Catelyn and Jon Snow comes back.
No, man, he's captured by the wildlings. He's not coming back anytime soon.
Then they'll have another character step it up, or maybe somebody from the what's the name of that house that you like with the queen? That Renly's wife.
Oh, Tyrells?
One of the Tyrells comes in or something.
The Tyrells are aligned with the Lannisters, so they're not going to.
Are they?
Yeah, they're not going to take over.
I still think Robb dies. I'm throwing it out there. I'm doing the 10%, but I think it's a bold show. I think they make big, drastic, kind of sweeping things happen. I mean, they killed off their only player. So I don't see them. I can see them taking out Robb Stark, and maybe and I don't know how that would affect it, but Robb Stark, that's gonna be my guess.
Fair enough, man. I guess we'll talk about it next week. Then.
I'm gonna let the wives weigh in here. Erica, who do you think it's gonna be?
If it's a major character, I'm leaning more toward Theon Greyjoy.
Okay.
Maybe the Maester.
Okay.
The Stark family's Maester.
That makes a lot of sense too.
He has a lot of access to poisons and anecdotes and things like that, so I could see that.
A lot of poisons. He's a good storyteller. Tells a lot of anecdotes. That's right.
Anecdotes. If it's a minor character, I want to say Stannis Baratheon.
Stannis is that's a good pick.
Well, didn't he die? Didn't he die last episode?
He was captured.
He was captured. Yeah.
Oh, well then, I mean, yeah.
Jennifer,
yeah, I mean that wouldn't really shock me though.
Your wife mouthed something to me.
Okay, she can speak freely. You may speak.
Thank you for giving your wife permission to speak. She mouthed something to me that made a lot of sense. I totally would buy it. and I think that she may come out on top here.
I think Sansa's she's gonna bite it, and I
Really?
yeah, and I think that the dog. I think
Yes.
she's going to totally flip characters and try to save her, and he is probably going to die. If it's a minor character, he's going to die. If it's a major character, it could possibly be Sansa. Although I was thinking if Robb Stark actually was the one that died, and Arya and the bastard blacksmith, I forgot his name.
Yeah.
If they meet back up with Robb's army, that would give him a chance to step up and reclaim who he really is somehow. Although
Because he's a Baratheon. Yeah, he's
he's the son of the king, of the dead king now.
Yeah, so that would make a lot of sense too. I don't know, man. I'm excited. That is definitely a must-watch for tomorrow. So I will.
Fantastic.
Keep my eyes
we'll
on
both watch that tomorrow night, and then we'll kind of take some impressions of our season finale. And, maybe we'll do that next week. We'll talk a little bit about season 2 and just kind of get all geeky over the season finale.
What do you got?
I have to add something in here. You
Add
can
something.
edit this out if you need to.
Add something in.
Okay. Both Erica and I knew that She-Hulk existed. It's just that She-Hulk was not in the original Avengers, and we figured if they were going to make a character from the original Avengers into a female for the purposes of having more than one female in there, it would be her. But we both knew that
Fair
it was
enough.
She-Hulk.
Yeah, Doolin.
They needed to put a lot of female characters in there because there aren't a lot of them in the Avengers, so they kind of did what they could.
How are you going to have girl-on-girl porn if there's not girl-on-girl to do so?
As soon as we finish up here, I'll show you the Scarlet Witch, Miss Marvel. It's incredible. It really is.
If it's as good as the 2 prostitute scene from the Game of Thrones, then maybe we'll watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, our wives.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. You guys, you two should have your own podcast. I would like to hear that.
I keep saying.
You can talk about boobs.
Yeah, they would put us out of business.
Yes, they would. Oh man. Well, I don't think it's gonna get any better than that, man. We should go ahead and end on a high note. What do you think?
That sounds like a plan.
All right, man, get us out of here. Take us home, guys. For NerdtopiaCast, I'm Doolin Dalton.
I'm Steve Wareham.
Thanks for nerding out with us, guys. Good night.
Find more free funny at nerdtopiacast.blogspot.com.